My name is Shaden Abu-Hijleh, and I'm going to tell you the story of my mother, Shaden Abu-Hijleh, who was assassinated by the Israeli army, or I should say death squads. My mom got killed by the Israeli army on October 11, 2002. It was a Friday, and my mom was sitting in this chair that I'm sitting right now in, and my dad was sitting here on the steps, and I was standing behind this glass door in our porch here, and Israeli jeeps came, and they stopped right on this space on the street 30 meters away from us, where this blue car is. And then my mom told me, can you wait a little bit until the jeeps go away? Usually we were at that time we were under curfew, but for an extended period of time, and the Israeli used to patrol the streets regularly every day. And it was around this time, you know, like 5:45, just before sunset. But it was still the daylight, you know. And the two jeeps stopped there, and I said, I did not know why they stopped. I said maybe in my, you know, I was thinking maybe they were waiting for the other two jeeps. Usually there are 4 jeeps, they patrol the streets here in our neighborhood. And this happens every day. My mom was sitting here, you know, doing embroidery, and my dad was picking time, just like passing time, you know, during curfew. And there was the neighborhood was very calm, you know, because it was a Friday and it was curfew, nothing. So I said, you know, but then you know, like the 2 jeeps stood longer than you know, it was like I felt like something not right about it, you know. And I was just thinking about this. Without any provocation, without any threat to them, without anything, you know, they opened fire towards us. And you know, I was standing behind this glass door, so the glass debris hit my neck. I thought that a bullet penetrated my neck. So I fell down, and I was bleeding from my neck. There's a mirror inside. So I started screaming at my dad. My dad is an ear, nose, and throat doctor, surgeon. So I told Dad I got hit, you know. And I did not realize that my mom got, you know, shot. My dad opened the door and came to me, and he looked, and you know, there was blood gushing from my, you know, there were small cuts from the glass, but we did not know at that time, because there was so much blood. We did not know if there were bullets that penetrated my neck. But when he opened the door, I saw my mom like on the stairs like that, here. Like this. She fell from the chair on there. So I was like, I ran towards her, and she just you know, her eyes were like open, you know, stuff like this. I think maybe it was last breath, you know, last breath. So I tried to carry her, and then I put my hand and then behind her head, and my head was filled with blood. So I thought she got shot in the head. And I couldn't carry her. I was like dizzy from the wound. So I started screaming for help, you know, screaming for help. And my dad was just standing here, you know, completely in shock, completely in shock. He was completely shocked, and I did not realize that he was injured. I didn't realize that he was injured later. But what happened, basically, if you could see, they shot at her head, you know, like, and then she went like this, because and then they shot her the second bullet right in her chest, and there was explosive bullets. That's why she fell. So the blood was seeping like this, so I thought she was shot in the head. I did not realize that she was just shot here until we went to the hospital. So my neighbors came, and they carried her, and then a friend of mine risked his life, brought his car, and they took her. And then I came out, and then another neighbor of ours, he brought his car. See, the Israeli soldiers, they shot at us, and they just drove away. And then they returned, and they came back. So my friend was in the car. I was bleeding, you know. So I told my dad I was going to go to the hospital, you know. And I ran in this guy's car, and we drove like few meters, and now we're face to face with the jeeps again. And I said, "Khalas, they're gonna kill us, you know." So I told my friend to stop, and I got out of the of the car, and I bounded on the jeep. So the guy, one soldier, opened the door, and he wanted to like kill me. And I start bounding on the jeep. I said, "You killed my mother. Why you shot my mother? Why?" And I was like bleeding. I think he thought like I was gonna die like any moment because I was bleeding from my neck. So then the other driver, he tells this, he's just like, take him or something like that. So he didn't shoot. And then he motioned to me to go back, and then he shot in the air. And then because people were screaming, you know, like our neighbors, they were like, you know, women were making noise that they were, oh my God, they thought he was going to kill me. I thought he was going to kill me. But then my friend took me to this hospital. My mom went to the specialty hospital. I went to the refugee hospital. I was completely in shock. And then I realized that I had superficial wounds. I came back here, and then, you know, all my neighbors were like gathering. And then they came back and they shot at us again. Man, it's just completely crazy. And then I wanted to run to the hospital. My dad was injured. This bullet went ricochet and then it hit him in the head. So he had like a cut in his head. If it hit him here, he would have died. So I would have lost both of them on the same spot. So my friends, my neighbors, they prevented me from going, so they called an ambulance. An ambulance came and took me to the other hospital. I came in, I saw my dad, you know, they were stitching his head. And then everybody was like, in the hospital was, you know, shaking hands with me, you know, telling me sorry. So I realized that my mom, khalas, you know, she was dead. And they brought her, I saw her. It was horrifying. It was a horrifying experience. I always say if I live maybe 10 times, I will never forget this few seconds, you know. And my dad, you know, and my mom, they were married for like 40 years something, and, you know, in a love story, and it was, man, 6 years later, okay, we made a big scandal for them when first they denied this ever happened. Second, they said my mom was killed after the Friday prayer. There was no Friday prayer because it was curfew. And then my dad went onto the media, onto the TV. He said, I do not know if the Muslims have changed the Friday prayer from 12 o'clock at noon until 5:45. My mom was killed 5:45, around like 6 p.m. So they lied again. You know, and then they came with the stray bullet theory, and this was through the media. Because I spoke to New York Times, I spoke to News Agency, Christian Science Monitor, French newspapers. I made a big scandal for them. And then they said stray bullet, and I don't know if there is a 14 stray bullets, you know. You can have one stray bullet, 2 stray bullets, not 14 stray bullets that land on, and then they, you know, semi-automatic gunfire, man, aimed at us, tuck, 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 what kind of, you know, I told, after 3 months I made a scandal for them. They came, and because we hired a lawyer from inside Israel, and then they came, and then the commander of the area, he said, oh, I'm coming to investigate. I say, you come now after 3 months of the crime? And he goes, no, we investigate all civilian deaths. I said, no. That's not right. You don't investigate. You came because we made a scandal for you. Because you always kill women, children, and they don't have resources, and then khalas, nobody asks questions. This is your... And then he wanted to speak. I said, no, it's my turn to speak. You know, we were standing here. I said, you always brag around the world that you are IDF, Israeli Defense Forces. If you say that you are death squads or mafia, I don't care. But you brag. How can a regular soldier, okay, you know, what kind of soldiers do you have? They aim at a woman, defenseless woman doing embroidery, and shoot 14 bullets. Shot at her head and then shot her in the chest with explosive bullets. What kind of soldier, what kind of military honor you have? And the guy goes, oh, the soldier said, he opened the door and shot in the air. I wish I had the recording. I didn't have a recording then, but then I recorded some of other conversation with them. I said, first, you know the soldier. And he was like silent. He said, first, you know the soldier, because the soldier said, right? Second, he opened the door and shot in the air, and 14 bullets landed on a half a meter square. You tell this to stupid people, you don't tell to educated people. And he goes, no. And I said, no. I said, no, man, you tell this to stupid people. You don't tell it to educated people. And he was silent. I took him exactly there to where the jeep. I told him, look, this is, I said, I'm not a military man. But any simple man will tell you, any human being will tell you, this is a clear target. Your soldiers aimed and shot at a defenseless family and killed my mother in cold blood. This is the fact. And he didn't say anything. He said, yeah, I want to know the truth. I said, the truth, you know. You said, you know the soldier. They know. They know the soldiers. They know the unit. Okay? They know who, I mean, because it's a unit. So somebody has ordered somebody to shoot, right? You know? So why? 6 years later, you know, 6 years later, no results of the investigation. They don't want to give our lawyer the investigation. They tried to close. And like 2 months, just 2 months ago, our lawyer called me and he said that the Israeli attorney, I'm not sure, they are offering us some money outside of court, to settle outside of court, and basically to close the sale. They said, I told him, do you want me to sell my mom? Do you want me to sell my mom? They want to give us $80,000 so we can shut our mouths. Man, they are, I don't know what they are. They're cockroaches. What are they? You know? I told him, how about if we give them as a family $100,000 just to go to court? Just to go to court, bloody bastards. And nothing happened. Like Rachel Corrie, our lawyer is the same lawyer for Rachel Corrie. Up until now, they don't want to admit responsibility. And that's the whole story of the Israeli state. Crimes committed every day, nobody, no accountability. They don't want. You saw that they shot this guy blindfolded, but because this woman filmed it. But we have witnesses. We have all our neighbors witnessed this crime. We have 10 witnesses. They don't want to go to court because we have the witnesses, we have the physical evidence, we have everything. They don't want to go to court. So this is the only democracy in the Middle East, you know. That's the only, the apartheid state, the fascist death squad state, Israel. You know. That's why I say this. I don't care. Maybe they will kill me one day. I don't know. Because my mom, you know, my mom was a peace activist, a philanthropist, a woman activist, and that's why they shot her. There is no reason they shoot at. Why did they choose this house? Why? I mean, we want answers. They don't want to give us answers. This was a deliberate act of assassination. Nobody can tell me otherwise. How can you shoot a 14 bullet at somebody and just say it's like that just happened by chance? It doesn't make sense. This is a deliberate act of cold-blooded murder. So that's what I say.